So I'm trying out a new skin thing for this, but all in all, what this video is going to be about is mainly just about questions that you guys have been asking. Like, I have like a huge list of questions over here, and because I'm not really good with video equipment yet, um, I can't exactly show you yet. But there's a huge list of questions that I've gotten, and I'm going to do my best to at least answer them because I really don't, if I'm honest, I don't like talking about me. So hopefully this video will be short, but there's a lot of questions, so I'm not very sure about that. Um, Otherwise, if you don't hear, I am getting much better. I figured out it was more of a depression sickness, and it's because of a lot of reasons right now. And some of you guys have been really nice and been sending me all these really nice inboxes, and you guys are just awesome that way. But this is kind of like, well, it's my 5th video, and I've gotten so many views on my first video. It's just nice. So the first question goes out to being, well, do you live with your parents? Where did you grow up, and did you live there your entire life? And, well, I do live with both of my parents. That's kind of on shaky ground at the moment. However, where I mainly grew up is here in Pennsylvania. Well, we had moved around a little bit. I had been moved around as a kid a little bit. Um, and how did I grow up is, it's kind of like, pretty much you're going through your typical problems of fighting around the house and etc., etc. It's mainly between the parents and you having a younger sibling and trying to protect them. That's pretty much all that's been going on so far. And that's pretty much all about home life. What about extended family? What extended family do you have? Well, I have actually a lot of extended family because I'm Italian, but unfortunately, um, I usually don't get to see them as much as often as I'd like to. Um, I have I have 3 cousins in Italy right now, and they all have kids. But I don't get to talk to them often because, of course, they're out of the country. Um, I have 4 cousins in Indiana who are wonderful, and I get to talk to them all the time. And each of them, well, 3 of them have kids. One of them has just got a girlfriend, and I'm really proud of him for it. There's 2 boys and 2 girl cousins. And last but not least, on my mom's side, I have an aunt and an uncle yet, and a grandmother. And I have an uncle on my dad's side yet. But that's about it for extended family. There's not very much left. How about I put it that way? It's funny, this thing makes me look yellow. It's really funny. But it's just because of the light. What do you do for fun? Well, I do a lot of things for fun, especially if it's summer and I'm sorry, I'm waking up. If it's summer and we're going out and doing something somewhere, usually uh, we go out on the boat and we're on the boat. And I'm usually water skiing or slalom skiing. I can wakeboard, I just don't wakeboard as good as my sister. I do go snow skiing sometimes in the winter. I didn't get to go up this winter and I'm very sad, but I've been sick most of the winter, so it sucks. And otherwise, I'm hanging out with friends and family, and usually out somewhere. I haven't been this much indoors in a really long time. Um, but by the end of March, I will be getting out and doing things again. Um, I do play some video games. Um, I do have an Xbox. I do have a PS3. I have a PS Vita. I have DS. I just found my old Game Boy. I'm so happy. Um, and that's pretty much it. I don't use the Wii anymore, really. So that's mainly for my sister. And the next question asks, have you ever been helped with anything, or have you ever encountered a situation that you can't handle? Well, of course. I'll be honest, of course. I mean, there's always a situation that an actual person can't handle and they need other help for it. And, I mean, I've handled definitely situations where I can't handle it. I try to handle it, but it's not going to work that way. I've definitely asked for help. I mean, regardless, I'm going to get a lot of feedback from my friends saying, well, you don't ask for help as much as you should, da 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 da. Um, but, yeah, there's even sometimes the people who look the strongest always need help. And it's true. um, you said in your last video you're hurting and in pain. Can you explain? Whew. Well, like I said, I don't like talking about myself. I was actually hoping to find this one last. Uh, but, right now, I explained in the last video my uncle is going through severe lung problems over on my dad's side, and nobody has any idea what's going to happen to him, and there's a whole bunch going on with that. And my grandmother and her fiance, she just got her chest cut open because she had open heart surgery, and he just broke his leg, so he can't really do anything, and they both can't get up the stairs. My aunt has a very severe smoking problem, and a caffeine problem, and my uncle just got another cell in his hip where he has to get his other leg taken off, so he will lose both of his legs now. I was engaged. I will admit I was engaged, and I lost that, so probably a big deal right now with all this other stuff going on. I mean, it could have happened at a better time, but she didn't choose it that way. But otherwise, I mean, I'm persevering pretty well, even though people are telling me I should probably leave. And if you guys have any feedback on any of this stuff, please feel free to comment. I mean, the best of us always need help. There's still the scare of my parents divorcing when I still have a little sister who's still going in high school and she's only a sophomore. College, always big stress. That's mainly about it, really. Otherwise, I have pretty good friends that are doing their best to help me out as best they can. And, I always read a little nice letter from my little cousin Hunter. I mean, I can't show you the addresses, but look at that incredible sticker. It's so freaking cool. Sorry. So that's pretty much it right now. For my life, really. I don't like talking about it, honestly. But if you guys ask, I'm not gonna just not respond to the question. What is your favorite book to read and or reference? My favorite book to read and or reference? If I'm honest, I'm like the biggest nerd in the entire world for referencing this book, but it's called The Pocket Ref, the 4th edition. And it literally has like everything you need to know in here. Seriously, this helped me out so much through school. I swear to God, it was like I was cheating. Because most of the time, I sounded really smart in class sometimes, and it was really funny. Because I'm not actually that smart for a lot of subjects that are in here. And just as they were asking the question, I just happened to be looking at it, and I was like, ooh, I know that, because it's right here. And so I finally shared my secret when I left the school, and I said, well, if you want to get past school and you want to study really hard, get this book. Pocket Ref by Thomas James Glover. It's the 4th edition. It's a wonderful book. Ooh. Sorry. Just waking up, like I said. Do you believe in coincidence or that things just happen for a reason? Well, I believe things happen for a reason. I can't say anything is based off of coincidence because there have been times where there have been coincidences and there have been times where there should have been, but there haven't been. That's a tough one. I mean, for example, I have these 2 bamboo stalks behind the computer, and I got them when I was still with my one girlfriend, and I said I'm going to name this one me and this one her. And pretty much how my friend explained it was the leaves on the one are dying because they're going to leave. And that's pretty much what happened. There's the same thing for bonsai. There it is. Bonsai plant over there. I got it when I was with her, and it now is completely dead. So that kind of matches up and makes sense in a way, but I don't know what that would be called, because like I said, I'm kind of out of it this morning. Okay, next. What car do you drive now? And what is your dream car of the future? Oh Lord, I could go on this topic forever. I will be honest, I am a very much a car person. And I know that's probably like, oh, we're not going to talk to you. But it's actually a truck that I drive now. It's a 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I just fixed it. I'm so proud. And I love that thing. I mean, seriously, it's the biggest freaking truck right now that I've ever had in this house while living here anyway. I mean, I used to drive an old Dodge with my friend, um, and he has his name is Josh Woolley. He has this nice blue Dodge Ram. It's an old one. I think it's a 95. And I used to drive that around all the time because all I had was a mom van, a BMW, and a smart car. That kind of is like, when you have to drive a smart car, that's kind of like, you're looked at like everywhere. But no, I drive my truck. I'm very proud of it. I had just fixed everything on it, so now it gets like 100% great gas mileage. And actually, thanks for reminding me because I have to go in for an oil change in the next 1,000 miles. My dream car of the future, though, if I'm 100% honest, it's a Morgan. It's a Morgan Arrow 8. It's a wonderful, wonderful car. Or actually, it's a Morgan Plus 8. It's a wonderful, wonderful little British car. It's made out of wood. Um, but it looks like a modern, like, it looks like an old car, but it's modern. Everything in it is modern. And I think it's just wonderful. I mean, it's this small little thing, and it's got 2 seats, and it's a convertible, and that's just like my dream car of the future. I don't think I'll ever be able to afford one because the detail on it costs so much alone, but I'm gonna try. Alright, next question. Um, sorry, like I said, I'm waking up and it's not very pleasant. What is the biggest thing you've been hurt on and why? The biggest thing I've been hurt on? I'm guessing you're talking about a situation or something. The biggest situation I was ever hurt on was when I was dating this one girl, and I was kind of fishy about my friend with her because all of a sudden they would always start hanging out and they would always be together, and it was a big deal. And I said, well, so what connection do you have with this guy? And she said, I don't know what you're talking about, Austin. I love you. It's fine. And so I decided that I would bring them both over to my house just for a little test. And one of my best friends who was here with me, I had 3 best friends, 2 of them have passed away. The one decided that she was gonna put a little camcorder, like her phone. It's sort of like her phone, but it was tiny, and it was in my room. But I didn't have this room, so it was upstairs, and it was on the windowsill, but it was hiding behind, I had a box. It was sort of big. It was, actually, it really wasn't that big, but it was kind of big because it was a wooden box. It was like twice the size of this long. And this is actually a really tiny book. So, and she placed this little camcorder next to it and just had the camera sticking out a little bit. And at the time, there was only one way into that room or out of that room. So when you walked in, unless you walked around the bed, you didn't see it. And neither of them walked around the bed, and I said, well, here, I'm going to turn on the TV, I'm going to go get some food, yada yada yada. I left them alone for maybe 10 minutes, and we didn't know what happened until afterwards. And I asked her on the camcorder, and I said, well, do you love me? And she said, yeah, I love you like nothing. Like crazy, everything like that. You know, all the really cute shit. And I looked at the camcorder later with my friend. And in the 10 minutes that I left them, as soon as I literally closed the door and walked down the hallway, they started making out and groping each other, and she was completely cheating on me. And so I sent her the video, and I said, well, if you love me so much, then what's this? And honest to God, I was so upset by that point. And of course, because I'm a very nice person, I forgave them eventually. That was probably the hardest thing I could forgive, though, honestly. So, sorry, it's just hard to go back to. Alright, next question. Have you ever been so hurt that you feel like throwing up? All the time. Yeah, all the time. Especially right now, all the time. Mainly, I figured out through my classes that it's caused by a massive amount of stress, and then that stress becomes so much in your head that you try to forget about it by doing other things and trying to be with your friends and do this, that, and the other thing, and it becomes physical. It goes from being mental to being physical. And so I've kind of been doing better with that, sort of, but due to recent events, I really haven't been doing well with it. If I'm honest, if I'm 100% honest, and I'm not doing it myself, trust me, but I can barely hold food down. It's hard. But it's pretty much as long as you do your best to like cope with it, it won't become physical. That's what I learned. So, all right, next question. If you're having so many problems yourself, why are you helping people? Well, I explained to actually one of my best friends yesterday, because they asked me sort of the same question, and they said, well, since you never ask for help, but you're always hurting, why do you help other people? I still haven't responded to them, actually. But if I'm honest, helping people kind of eases that pain of being upset, because I know it's never dealt with in here, but you at least deal with something else and you help somebody else with something else. It's kind of the same thing for all the time, really. You're helping somebody else. It's a nice thing to do. It makes you feel good, and it's just how it is. I mean, I'm not one to ask for help, I'll be honest with that. I'm not one to ask for help, and then finally when I do, I usually end up getting hurt somehow. So that's why I really don't. But, that has actually something to do with the next question. The next question says, why do you say when you ask for help you get hurt? It's just kind of, I guess that would be part of the coincidence thing, because every time I ask for help, especially with this last girlfriend, I asked her for help all the time, ended up getting hurt every single time. And then finally when I asked for help to help me out with all this stuff that was going on, I got broken up with. So, in the same sense, I mean, it's the same way. That's kind of what I mean. It's just kind of coincidence. Every time I ask for help, no matter who it is, I end up getting hurt in the end. And so I stopped a long, long time ago. However, it does have advantages sometimes, because you do get to talk stuff out, but you have to always be prepared when you're going to get hurt again. It's kind of like, I'm going to let all my feelings out and I'm going to let my guard down, and then all of a sudden, boom, something happens. So that's how it goes. What would you say is the greatest thing in your life right now? The greatest thing in my life right now? Honestly, I'd have to say it's my little niece. She's always there for me. She's a wonderful little niece. She knows that everything of... Well, she thinks that she knows everything. How would I put it that way? She's a year younger than me, and she lives over in Indiana. But seriously, every time I get the chance to talk to her, the first thing she says is, everything okay? What's wrong? Can I help? How can I help? Etc., etc. It's probably the best thing in my life right now. I mean, having that sense of somebody's there is much better than having the sense of somebody who's not there. what is your most favorite quote of all time? Well, actually, on my Tumblr, this was the first thing that I ever posted. It's the best people come out of the worst of situations. And that was a quote by the same friend who left the camcorder in the room. And it was in a comment earlier on in one of the videos, which is why that video hit me so hard. Her name was Marley Karepsky, and she was a wonderful, wonderful woman. And every time I got into a bad situation, there was always something wrong. There was always something there that was hurting, and she'd come right back and she'd say, well, you know what, you're going to be better for it. The best people come out of the worst of situations, and the worst of people come out of the best of situations. Pretty much what she's saying in that statement was, you came out with a terrible home life, you had your parents fighting with you all the time, you had parents screaming at you, there's loss of divorce maybe, there's a whole bunch of factors going on, you were cheated on in the past, you were hurt all the time, you became this new person, but you're still helping people. So you're better for it because you came out of that situation. And if you were spoiled your entire life, and you were spoiled in the beginning, and you were spoiled all the time, then you become out to be a bad person. So, it's kind of how my uncle is right now. I mean, my uncle on my dad's side, he came out of a terrible home life, terrible this, terrible that, and did all sorts of drugs and stuff like that. Of course, not anymore. But now he's working on, even while he's pretty much gaining on his last breaths, he's working on the family records, seeing where we came from, trying to help us out as much as we can, and just doing whatever he can to show that he cares. I mean, I still have a picture from him on one of my birthdays. He sent me a picture of this Port Austin, it's called. It's really cool. But, yeah, so that's my favorite quote of all time. Do you feel comfortable about talking about yourself in public? Not in public, no. I don't like talking about myself in public. That's just a fact. If I really trust you, I will talk to you about myself. There are very few people who I trust right now. If I'm honest, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people right now, and 4 out of the 5 happen to be girls. So, actually 6. 7, sorry. 7. Sorry. Forgot to. And there's only 7 people I trust right now. But actually 2 of them I kind of don't really talk to right now. But the one, her name is Elise, she gave me this note for my birthday, and I read it all the time, and I'm like on the verge of tears every single time, because she says all these wonderful, beautiful words about how we came about to be friends, and how that I'm a caring person, this, that, and the other thing, and that so thankful for me to come back to her and ask to be friends, and how, sorry, I'm getting emotional all of a sudden. Then there's a girl named Savannah, who I've been with since elementary school. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman, and she cares about everybody, and she'd rather talk about other people than herself, just like me, but she doesn't realize when she needs help, she needs to talk to people. So, but either way, I will tell her. I'd tell her anything. I'd tell any of these people anything. So that's 2. There's my sister Alex, who is a wonderful, wonderful woman. She can make you laugh in any situation possible. And most of her pictures are around up here. on this thing, which is nice. Um, but anyway, the next one is a girl named Amanda. And she is up in Massachusetts right now, and I'm very sad. But her and I have been together for a very long time. It's coming up on 10 years, I think. Her and I have been together for a very long time. We're very, very close. And actually, we connect in more ways than we thought we did. So, it's kind of a big deal. But, then there's a girl who is out in Bloomsburg right now. Her name is Christina. The reason I trust her is because always some reason, whether I was with somebody or not, even though that she's one of my exes, it was like she had this sixth sense of something's wrong. I'm gonna talk to him now. And whenever something was really wrong, I never told her, ever. I never said, hey, I need help. It would always just be a text, hey, how's it going? How's life going for you? And I never really understood it. And it was kind of what she was trying to show me, that she still loves me. And everything that she's doing is because she loves me. And so, pretty much what I'm doing is I'm working out to see if I can get that trust whole issue back together. And last but not least is my friend Batman, who I call Milton. And he is a wonderful man. He is the only one out of that group that has seen me cry. That sucks. He's the only one that has seen me cry. And I will admit I'm very stubborn when it comes to crying. I'm not very good with it. But he's the only one. Yeah, that's true. He's the only one that's ever seen me cry. But he's always there, and if something goes wrong, he always knows what to say, and we'll just reference PewDiePie every single 5 seconds, so it's always good. Now, I know this was a question from a guy. This is the next one. I know this was a question from a guy, and they said, do men need to cry, or is that too unmasculine? Now, because I'm a psychology major, and because I do have in contact with a bunch of psychologists right now, and including one of them being my teacher, which she just went over this, and so I asked a whole bunch of my other friends who are psychologists and got through and went through the whole finishing school, all that. Yes, it is. It's kind of mandatory for us to cry. I mean, if we don't, if we're really upset about a situation and we don't cry, it's kind of like that simple setting of putting it from mental to physical, and you make it your physical being. So you throw up, or you are sick for a few days, or something like that, and it's all stress related. So if you don't cry, then it's not unmasculine if you cry. It's just that we need, in the quotes of one of my friends, Frank, we need to let our hearts sorrow out until they are done sobbing. And that goes for anybody. I mean, for example, my friend, who is also a psychologist, has come to me this week, and he said that he just lost his brother. and he lost his brother to lung cancer, and it's a big, big deal, and he just needed a shoulder to cry on at the time. And so, pretty much that's what we were there for. But it doesn't matter how big, it doesn't have to be a serious situation like that. It could even be simply as losing your girlfriend. I mean, it's just how it is. Next. Have you lost anyone important? Yes, I have. I lost a lot of family members and a lot of friends who are very important. Friends are mainly to the war. Family is because of cancer. I'm pretty sure that, I'm 95% sure that I am going to get cancer. Which sucks, but it's what's going to happen. I'm 95% sure because, my grandfather had cancer, my aunts had cancer, and it looks like my uncle is getting cancer now, so I'm pretty much 95% sure I'm going to get cancer, and I'm going to have to do chemotherapy and all that stuff and lose my hair, but, I mean, I don't really care. It's just like, I care about the people I lost, don't get me wrong. But I care about others more than I care about myself. How about I put it that way? So, anyway. Last but not least. If there was anybody that was still alive today, who would you like to talk to? Wow, that's deep. If there was anybody still alive today that I would want to talk to. That would definitely be my grandfather. Honestly. He died from pancreatic cancer, finally. He finally gave up. He went through 5 different cancers. And he finally gave up. So, if there's anybody that I could talk to right now, I do go and visit him sometimes. And, if there's anybody I could talk to, it would be him. Thank you guys for all your questions. I mean, this is the whole list of questions so far. I've probably gotten more, but I haven't checked my inbox yet. Unfortunately, I do have to go to school, so I have to get ready and I have to go to school. I will be uploading this while I'm at school. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for the questions, and if you guys have any other personal questions or anything you need to talk about, next video will just be about you. So, bye guys!